Good afternoon. My name is Jason Dunn, and this is my presentation for Case 2-5. So this case is centered around British Petroleum, better known as BP, and the terrible explosion that happened at one of their refineries in Texas in 2005. So the background for the explosion is actually it was caused by just misrepair and lack of maintenance to their equipment, and also their safety standards, safety equipment, everything of that sort. It killed multiple people, injured a whole lot more, and it was just terrible public outlash, everything like that for BP, along with other instances and accidents that happened in the past. So what we're going to focus on in this presentation is the two questions at the end of the case. The first question wants me to basically make an outline for a presentation that I would go and give the senior executives of BP to try and get them to give more funding for the maintenance of our systems and equipment. This is actually wants to be taking place before the actual accident, so I can't make that part of my argument. And the second question is, there was actually a wooden office trailer that was about 50 yards away from the actual explosion site that about 50 clerical workers were working in. And before the explosion, there was records of 8 gas leaks that happened that were obviously causes to the explosion, but apparently none of those workers actually, said anything about it, raised any concerns. BP didn't do anything about it as well. So we're going to look into why that was the case, and also what I would have done if I was actually one of those workers. So to begin with question number one, I would stress to the senior executives that, hey, we need more funding for the maintenance of our equipment simply because that's what's going to keep us going. I mean, we don't want to spend any money to replace everything. So that's going to cost more than actually, just repairing it and stuff. And also, we don't want OSHA down our back, giving us fines and, putting us on probation like they have already done in the past. And we've also had incidents in the past where we've had superheated steam that leaks out and actually, scalded 2 of our workers to death. And we had to not only deal with OSHA's fines and penalties for that, but also we had to have payouts to these families of their workers' deaths. And that just shows that since we didn't do anything about it, we don't really care about our employees. So that's not a good public look either. It also says that we paid about close to $100 million in fines to OSHA because we weren't keeping up our containers up to their standard, like our storage containers. They apparently were in misrepair, were damaged, and they put us on probation for a couple of years for that, and also fined us $100 million when it would have cost less than that to just keep the maintenance up, repair them, and keep them going, and we wouldn't be on probation. Just our track record of bad accidents in the last couple of years has proven that, we actually need to do something about this. It's costing us money. It's costing us employees literally with their lives. And it's just not a good look for us. So if we're a Fortune 500 company, not even that, we're like $1 billion company, hundreds of billions of dollars. Why can't we put a little money to the side to make sure our actual equipment, our safety standards and everything is actually up to date, safe, and won't cause us money, public backlash, in trouble with the government, breaking laws, everything? Why not? I just don't understand why it wouldn't. In the long run, since these people, senior executives, they care about money. So in the long run, it's going to save them money. So they'll make more money from it because we'll have a better public image and we'll show that we actually care. So it's a win-win situation, if you ask me. I think they're going to, reap the benefits. We're going to reap the benefits as workers. So I would just go with that. I'll just put the facts in front of them on the table, say, hey, this is what happened. This is what can happen if we don't fix it. And this is going to actually save us money and make us money in the long run. It's pretty cut and dry to me, unless we would probably have to educate them, because let's be honest, these senior executives, they probably don't know too much about what actually goes on the day-to-day operations. They run the company, the brand, They know the money stuff. They really don't know how important maintenance on these actual, equipment and systems are. So I'd have to bring in a couple of specialists just to show them the potential risk, and hopefully that, kind of changes their mind and lets them see the bigger picture. But that's the way I would go with it. Obviously, I want to make sure that I want them to know that this is not going to hurt their pockets. Maybe in the short term it will, but not in the long run. So that's where I would go with that. And I would, just try to stress that, hey guys, this is better for the company in the long run. This is going to help everybody. Now, as far as question 2 goes, the reason these people, obviously from everything I just told you, BP has a terrible track record. They obviously push things under the rug. They don't care about, trying to fix these maintenance problems or anything. So I'm guessing that these employees that were in the trailer who were killed due to the explosion, prior to that with these gas leaks, they were probably threatened to not say anything with their jobs. The higher ups in the company were probably like, hey, you guys, there is no need to worry about this, or if you do say something, we're going to fire you and move on, as legal or illegal as that is. That's what I'm guessing happened. Either that, or these people just really didn't know the severity of gas leaks next to an oil refinery that was 50 yards away. I find it hard to believe that they don't understand the severity of that, since they work there. Even whether they be clerical administrative assistants or not, you still have to understand that gas and oil and all that does not mix, especially when everything's flammable. So I'm guessing as BP actually hushed them. They said, no, don't. You're going to bring more backlash on us. We don't need that right now. I'm sure they promised that they would fix it. Apparently they never did. So that brings me into question where I would say, you know what? I would at least express my concerns to my immediate supervisor. I would say, hey guys, this is, I'm worried about this. I'm not trying to be by a gas leak. I'm not trying to have a potential explosion right next to where I'm working at. Are we doing something to fix this? I would at least ask those questions and, let my concerns be known. As far now, if they threaten to take away my job or to, seal me to silence, then I would honestly, I would probably be looking for another job. I would get out of that company. I know not everybody can do that. Everybody needs a paycheck. But if I had the capability, then yeah, I would get out of there, look for employment, and I might, have to tell somebody about this, because those 50 people in that wooden trailer died. Not too long after these gas leaks happened, that explosion in 2005 happened, and these people died. So I'm not losing my life for any company or for any job, let alone. So I would do my best to let the right people know, or at least get myself out of that situation and let the other people know too, like, hey guys, this isn't a good, place to be at right now. I think we need to either get this fixed, get the company turned around, or, we got to move on. With all that being said, BP, we know about the 2010 spill, the oil spill in the Gulf. We now know about these other incidences. I don't know if anything has happened more recently than these things, but for a while, for a solid decade there, BP, if the world didn't need oil and gas and everything so bad, obviously this company would be completely down the drain. However, I think they need a complete overhaul. They need definitely some ethical, practices being instilled. But I think they have a lot to work on. They especially when it comes to their worker safety and their updated equipment and everything like that. I hope it's gotten better. I'm sure it has to. You can't get much worse than this. I'm sure it has. But as far as the 2 questions go, I would stress, the safety of our employees as far as needing funding for the maintenance of equipment. And then obviously if I was in that wooden trailer, I would have said, hey, we got to do something about this or I'm leaving. That's just my opinion on those 2 things. I think that's pretty cut and dry. Honestly, I think most people would agree with that. If not, I'd love to hear their opinions, but that's what we're going to go with for now. Thank you for listening. Once again, I'm Jason Dunn, and this has been my presentation for case 2-5.